Hello and welcome everyone back to an Accounting Crypto video. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're back with another banger PulseChain video, giving you guys the latest and greatest of crypto news, and today's episode is going to be a good one. So you want to watch the whole video through. Grab your notebook, maybe grab some popcorn as well. Guys, we're going to cover and get you guys up to date with the latest PDAI Alpha, the latest Atropa Dev Alpha. He's gone on a live stream very recently. We're going to give you guys the highlights from that. And of course, arguably one of the best crypto founders ever, the man himself, Richard Hart. His latest tweets giving us a tease about the marketing that's about to come to PulseChain within a month or two. This is huge. Big things are coming for PulseChain, and I'm super excited. And I just want to say a big shout out to you guys who've been watching my videos for a month, few months, or even over a year. I've been making videos on PulseChain since Q4 of 2023, and it's been amazing ever since. Okay, I've even sacrificed in the PulseX sacrifice, which was the freedom of movement and freedom of assembly. And honestly, guys, I couldn't be happier to be in this place, positioning myself for this upcoming altcoin season. Speaking about altcoin season, I just wanted to remind you guys, this is the others total crypto market cap. And you can see today, Bitcoin dominance has fallen, a little bit. It is also on a weekend, so don't expect too much in terms of price performance. So yeah, you can see the dominance is going down whilst the ETH BTC ratio is going up. This is again the precursor of an altcoin season. Keep your eye on those metrics if you really want to position yourself very early. And obviously, it's very easy to become an investor than a trader. So all this actually doesn't really matter, all the short-term price movements. But a quick reminder to show you how things have gone in the previous mini altcoin season. So this is the chart showing you the white vertical lines is the Bitcoin halving. And usually there's kind of a rule or kind of, unwritten rule that the altcoin starts after 365 days of the Bitcoin halving. So we're well over that. We just passed that in April of 2024. And obviously we've been impeded by a lot of geopolitical stuff, etc. Some even fears with tariffs and stuff, which I'll cover in a separate video. But, a small update on that is that I believe I saw that Donald Trump and, China have actually agreed on a trading deal, which is really, really good in general. So again, this all goes back to the point that, these news, guys, even that type of news about tariffs and fear mongering and stuff like that, that also counts as noise. So let me tell you, the cycle is still on. Okay, what I wanted to show you guys is this green box right here. This is what I'm betting on, this bull run. Okay, this is the others total crypto market cap, which again excludes the top 10 coin market caps and the stable coins. And I just want to show you guys how crypto can move really quick once it starts taking off. This is the last mini altcoin season that we have. And if I just see how long did it take for it to go from that, local low to its high, it took us 35 days and it did a 2.2x, guys, in the others total crypto market cap. Okay, and then you can see that it was around if I put my cursor here, it was around the 4th of November all the way till 2nd of December. So in 1 month, guys, the others total crypto market cap went from 192 billion all the way up to 448 billion. You might say it's just a 2.2x, it's not a big deal, but let me show you what happened during that time period. So if you look at the PWBTC chart and we put the cursor at the 4th of November and we start to measure all the way up until the beginning of December, you can see that it did a 19x in 28 days. That's, almost 1x per day. And if you also do the same thing with PDAI, which by the way, it is just a 10x away from all-time high, absolutely crazy. And also the MACD, the moving average convergence divergence on a weekly candle is looking very, very bullish. So you can see right now it is starting to print out that green histogram, which is really cool, the golden cross, right? But anyways, if you go back to that point, which is 4th of November to basically beginning of December, and that's actually also where the all-time high happened, it was a 12 point something x in just 28 days. So this is a reminder for you to not discount the macroeconomic conditions, because this can be a great hint or a precursor. So just in general, and here's one of my latest tweets. I said, big things are coming to PulseChain. This Ethereum fork will flip Solana. And I've covered in the previous video, by the way, how Solana has 3 million daily unique active wallets, whilst PulseChain is so young, so early, first cycle as well. Okay, greatest growth potential is in its first cycle. Simple. That's another unwritten rule in crypto. We have around 10,000 daily unique active wallets. So I'm telling you right now, you should know that you are early. Okay, the front row seats, they're going to run out. That is it. We're going to cover as well the marketing that's coming to PulseChain. You never know. Centralized exchanges, any second, any moment, they can announce PulseChain. And all of a sudden, retail FOMO will jump in. Because right now, we're in that time where, oh, PulseChain is too hard to buy. You know, oh, the liquidity is low. This is the same steps that Bitcoin has gone through. When was the best time to buy Bitcoin? When it was really hard to get. When the liquidity was low. Heck, when even people were calling it a scam. I'm telling you, we are reliving history that Bitcoin has gone through. Same thing with PWC. We're reliving history with Ethereum because, of course, we're an Ethereum fork, but not just any fork. We're first of its own kind, full system state copy of Ethereum, ladies and gentlemen. We took a snapshot of Ethereum. And this is why we have narratives never been done before, like the PRC20 narrative that created stuff like PDAI, the unstable, soon to be stablecoin, speculative, truly decentralized. No oracles. And here I said it hosts a stablecoin that no one controls, right? There's no freeze function. There's no blacklist function. There's no central authority. It's permissionless. It's trustless. There is no trust variable. That's the whole point. We are actually solving a problem, guys. We're going to get to that in a second as well. And this is what I said. Why choose to trust Kevin from compliance when you can trust permissionless, autonomous code? And looking at the price today, which is, by the way, it's doing absolutely amazing. If you look at the 7-day performance, look at this. I put a screenshot yesterday. It is up 27.9%. PDAI is up 47% in 7 days. Absolutely crazy. And yeah, today is around 326 away from $1, a 10x back to all-time high. PWC is a 235x away from a real Bitcoin price of $107,000. Guys, imagine one PWBTC will become worth 6 figures plus. And we're only a 6x back to all-time high. And Bitcoin dominance is still very high, at 60%. And we're already 6x away from all-time high. I'm telling you, things are looking really good for PulseChain. Really, really good. Guys, here's a video as well. Like, I have no hate against this guy, but I just want to remind people that please don't be like this guy. This guy regretted selling his bags a little bit too early. So he did have a profit, which is really great, right? But he missed out on becoming a multi-millionaire from just one token. Guys, one token could have made him a multi-millionaire. Let's watch this clip.
Oh my god. Why did I sell my fucking X, man? I sold
He's saying, why did he sell his X?
my X. I had 16 million X. And I sold it all. Why?
Guys, this is also kind of another reminder. And again, this can be for a separate video. If you have a, I don't know, if you bought a token and you're really long on it, but then it did a 5x and you're really tempted to take profits, honestly, if it was just me, I would only sell the 1x once it does a 10x, for example, and I would just leave the moon back. Because at that point, you're just playing with house money, right? It doesn't really matter to you. And fair enough, if it does another 10x after that, which by the way, 10 times 10 is 100x total, yes, you can then, I don't know, take 20% and then save it and then again, leave the moon back. The whole point is you have to leave something, have some skin in the game. Don't fully exit anything at all, okay? I mean, heck, even the dev of Dogecoin had to go through that tough lesson himself. He sold his entire bag of his own token that he created for around like 50K when he could have literally became a multi, not just a multi, in the hundreds of millions, guys. And he sold his whole bag. So please don't repeat that mistake. Learn from other people's mistakes because that's, the cheapest way to learn, right? So take it from me as well. I've gone through that as well in the previous cycle. So here it says, once upon a time, this dude had 60 million hex. At the peak, he could have made $8 million. Don't be like this guy.
And let me show y'all where I sold my Hex at day 136. Right around here. When I sold it the next day, it went up to here. I said, okay, I'm going to buy it back when it dipped. The next day, it went up to here.
He said, okay, I'm going to buy back when it dips. Okay, again, he's trying to be a trader here. This is what happens when you become a trader, guys. Okay? more trades doesn't necessarily equal more gains. Just let me tell you that.
Said, okay, I'm gonna wait. Then it went up here. Then it went up here. I sold my hex, man. And then it went up here, and I said, please dip. Please dip back to 5,000. And then it went up to 10. Oh, I'm so sick. That's like 80-something thousand dollars, man, I could have had. And I sold it.
Damn. Well, anyways, we're going to move on from that. Speaking about PDAI, by the way, it's been listed under CoinGecko, under the stablecoins category. You can see that logo right there. It looks pretty sick, guys. Okay, so yeah, big shout out to CoinGecko. If you scroll down here, there's even more information here. You can see there's a few links and telegrams, and it even shows the category of stable coins. And if you go one more, made in USA, this is actually quite bullish. And also want to say a big shout out to the YouTube members who are choosing to support my small channel. And here are the highlighted comments from Hex Farmer. It says, we are so close. I like the numbers 7725. I hear July 13th and 14th are astrologically positive for finances. Very interesting. And here from Crypto Incognito, shout out to you, my bro, says another banger. Great content as always. And here's another, last but not least, here's another comment from Mikey Scott. Says, thanks bro for all that you do within our cult and our cult within our cult. You and Somi, I cannot miss. My 8th year in crypto and PulseChain are going to bang so hard. And then WBTC and the PDAI gem are the unicorns. Makes so much sense. We are blessed. Peace, my friend. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for that amazing comment, guys. It's been a pleasure making these videos. And I also want to say on that note, because we're going to talk about PDAI, and I've seen as well some people on my Telegram, asking about again access to my course. Now, yes, this does have a price tag to it, but this is why I'm announcing in this video. If you use code PDAI, PDAI, it will give you the course for 100% fee. You don't need to pay absolutely nothing. It is a 6-part video series, 1 hour and a half long. You will learn a lot, and this is very, very important, especially if you're owning anything above $1,000 in your crypto portfolio. Complacency is a risk within itself. Okay, always continuously learn. You need to understand the different attack vectors in this crypto and DeFi space. And it's better to be safe and sorry and mitigate against those risks as well. So remember, use code PDAI, link to this in the description. Whether if you're new to crypto or you've been here for multiple cycles, you will learn something new in this 6-video part series. I'd also appreciate it if you could leave a review, give me your honest feedback. How did you find my courses? And yeah, appreciate you guys. And let's continue with the video. So yeah, now jumping into Richard Hart's one of his latest tweets. I just wanted to start off by showing this very old tweet from back in 2022. Okay, kind of just to give a preface to what he's kind of talking about here. And here he says, I figured out a way to transfer value without transferring coins. I let the regulators finish shooting themselves in their feet before I tell you how. Very, very interesting. And then fast forward to the present day, this is what he tweeted out a couple days ago. He says, do you want to be useful? Someone in the community is looking for a USA free zone to receive and hold a couple of 40 GP containers for a month. Apparently, their containers will be imported as donations to a 503c, but the tax certification hasn't come through yet. Or they could just accept them without the free zone, 17,000 kilograms per container. What logistics company in a USA free zone wants the business? Be useful and hit up the phones. The containers apparently will contain free electronic gifts with CR2025 batteries pre-installed. Very, very interesting. And then just 5 minutes after that, he tweeted a part 2 and saying, a community member needs to know, time to hit up the phones again. What large fulfillment or bulk mailing company can turn 40 feet containers full of free electronic gifts into mail globally? I would assume it is wise to go country by country, but in the EU, I think a couple of countries tend to do fulfillment across the whole area, ? Figure $1 million to start with, which is about 5 containers. Time frame is about 2 months. So this is the second time, ladies and gentlemen, Richard Hart gives an actual time frame. The last time that we covered it, where again he's predicting the macro market conditions to change, and now he's also timing it with this marketing, right? Where he says it's gonna start with about 5 containers, and we'll see from there, and it's gonna be global marketing. Okay, potentially, this could be a hardware wallet, ladies and gentlemen, because again, it's using a battery. That means it has keys stored in it. It might have crypto inside of that. Could it have PDAI? Very, very interesting. That is a theory. And here he says, is also flexible, so works with automated mail processing. And big shout out to Fasting God here, taking a screenshot from the PDAI Telegram saying, someone in the PDAI Telegram implies that the electronic device in the new Richard Hart marketing campaign will point to the Richard Hart's wallet to receive the airdrop. So this is what the screenshot says from a guy called 8 Point Cross. And here he says, yup, a literal envelope delivered by the postal service. Think Cassius Coin 2.0. Front, limited edition artwork plus QR code of the funded wallet address. Back, scratch off that hides the seed phrase or BIP39 shares. Built-in NFC tag. He teases batteries. Remember, so the forthcoming Richard Hart wallet app can tap to import. Very, very interesting. Once you peel the scratch/tap, you pull the PDAI into whatever address you like or leave it right there and treat the card itself as a bearer bond you can hand to someone else. So again, this kind of relates back to the whole original tweet back in 2022 where he said, oh, I figured out a way to transfer coins without, to transfer value without transferring coins. And I think the solution here that he's talking about is effectively we're transferring the seeds itself, not the coins. You're transferring the knowledge. Right? This is very, very cool actually. And here it says why it still fits the reg sidestep thesis. No on-chain transfer at fulfillment. Coins are pre-funded. Only physical custody changes hands. Genius Act focuses on mint/redemption events and custodial intermediaries. Mailing a key doesn't trigger either events. User retains self-custody from minute 1. No omnibus account, no stable issuer ledger entry with your name on it. And kind of speaking about PDAI, a few days before that, Richard Hart posted this tweet. It goes, because I'm more useful than you are, I'm going to once again tell you something that you don't know. Something that will quite likely be worth money to you. I don't have to do this, but I'm a kind and gentle soul who wants the best for you. I made DAI popular because it was a bit more censorship resistant. Because of that, many people that follow me have used DAI. Lucky you kids, airdrop claim. I could just keep quiet about it and you likely would have never known about it, but here I am. Out of the kindness of my heart, bringing you value again. Say thank you. To check if your address is eligible, use Tor or proxy or spam extra address to mix yours. So yeah, this airdrop is to do with the SPK token, which is part of the Spark protocol. If you guys didn't know, it's effectively a fork of Aave that MakerDAO is leading. And we're going to, actually speaking about that, we're going to see a quote tweet from Decentralized Me talking about this. And he says, we've come a full circle. Spark Finance, which, yeah, again, he highlights it here, guys. This is part of the whole theory where Richard Hart deliberately waited for Spark Finance to launch just for them to follow up and take a snapshot and then launch PulseChain. So he waited for Spark Finance, okay? Because look at this. Spark Finance launched on May 9th of 2023. PulseChain then launched a few days later on the 13th, and I believe that actually the snapshot was on the 10th of May. Okay, Spark Finance is a lending protocol, a fork of Aave conducted by the Maker team. It integrates deeply with the Maker ecosystem. The SPK airdrop is based off DAI usage across protocols. However, if you moved too much DAI around after the snapshot or made a lot of moves, that could be interpreted as inorganic activity. You could be disqualified. We waited for the Spark Finance to launch. Did we just wait for its airdrop to peg? Very interesting. And also, if you guys didn't know that Richard Hart, before he moved all the sacrifice funds into Ethereum, which is the, makes up the 171,000 Ethereum right now, he used to be the top DAI holder on Ethereum. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out. Is he going to receive a majority of the SPK token? How will this piece together with PDAI? Only time will tell. There's going to be a part 2 to this PDAI deep dive in the next video, so definitely turn on your notification bells for that. And now, speaking about PDAI's use case, is it a solution to a non-problem? Well, this tweet helps you understand even more. Circle slogans, prime examples of trust washing where central control is solid as a virtue. Highly secure. Secure for them because they control the keys. Your funds depend on their permission, not decentralized code. globally accessible. Only if Circle chooses to support you, access can be restricted or frozen. Hard to beat, ? Hard to beat if you trust a centralized middleman to hold your funds and set the rules. USDC is the digital dollar, a digital dollar backed by a company, not decentralized blockchain consensus. And again, this is what DAI originally solved. It's a crypto-backed stablecoin that has, collateralized vaults, etc. Unlike USDC here, which, by the way, you can't even make yield on it. Built by Circle, built by a company with admin keys that can freeze or seize your funds. Absolutely crazy. And here's another tweet from DAI on PulseChain. A big shout out to him. I think it's overdue for me to click that follow back button here. He says, without PDAI holders pushing this message, it doesn't land. This video cuts straight through the noise, exposing the trap of centralization and spotlighting the power of real decentralized stability. Every line hits, every scene calls it out. PDAI on PulseChain, no freeze, no middlemen, no apologies. So let's see what this video had to say.
What's PDAI on PulseChain?
It's a decentralized masterpiece, no pause button, no freeze switch, no clown in a suit between me and my money.
But centralized stablecoins protect you, right?
Well, I hold DAI on PulseChain. I'd rather trust code than Kevin from compliance.
Heard about that government bill, the Genius Act?
Yeah, I also read 1984. DAI on PulseChain doesn't need permission to exist.
USDC or DAI on PulseChain?
Depends. Do you like asking permission to use your own money? Okay, so tell us, why are you holding DAI on PulseChain?
Oh, that's easy. I like owning my money.
Circle says they work closely with regulators. Isn't that good for trust?
Circle's trust model. Freeze first,
Email later.
What's PDAI on PulseChain?
It's the stable coin I'll be holding when they freeze yours and call it regulatory compliance.
Jeez, bro, what a fire video. This is the power of AI, guys. Honestly, wow. This is a timeless video. Like, you can send this a year ago, you can send this 5 years from now, and it's still gonna hit. Like this video does get the point across in a very engaging way. Like, again, I really love this, the community side of things, honestly, and I can feel the virality from this. So, and also, if you guys didn't know, this is an ex-UFC, Kyle. He quote tweeted a guy who asked him, "Are you holding PDAI?" and he said, "I bought it." So again, there's a lot of smart money, smart people here that are holding PDAI that are not necessarily being public about it. We also covered in 2024 that Andrew Tate has like 6 figures in the PulseX V1 farms, earning that INC and accumulating it. So yeah, there's a lot of people that are in PulseChain that we probably don't even know yet, who are not being public about it, probably due to the obviously uncertainty with the SEC, and at the time where Richard Hart, technically, he's still in the Interpol wanted list. So I'm telling you guys, I wouldn't be shocked if one day we see like Barron Trump saying, "Oh yeah, I knew about PDAI. I have a big bag of it. I just didn't want to talk about it yet." So my non-financial advice here is try to front run the retail FOMO. And here's a tweet from Niring Capital saying, "Are PulseChain's forked DeFi oracles broken? Or is it the PDAI to Pulse ratio just too low? Maybe it's time to reimagine a PulseChain where PDAI to Pulse ratio is greater than Ethereum to DAI ratio. It is worth pondering what this could do for PComp and PAVE derivative markets. PDAI to $1 is inevitable." If you guys remember in the beginning of the video, I mentioned that the Atropa dev has gone on a live stream. So here's a tweet from Sir Nathan showing us a screenshot. And here he says, for some reason in today's live chat, Maria, Atropa dev, said that we are in prime mover stage. That is all. And you can see the screenshot right here. We are in the prime mover stage. There's another screenshot here from Moat It Be saying, Atropa dev Maria, James, is reporting that the PulseChain State size is exploding live and rising quickly, adding gigabytes at a time, and saying it's not supposed to go up this fast. So you can see the screenshot. It goes, anyone else has been watching the number go up. It's not supposed to go up that fast. I haven't seen the state number in a bit. I will highlight when it shows again. Yeah, we've added like 20 plus gigabytes of chain state in the last hour. Absolutely crazy. And he goes 20 gigabytes plus of 369 gigabytes for the entire history. Now, someone asked, what does this mean? And then some people are saying, bullish signal, master chefs at work. And in here, a tweet from Liquid Liberty saying its data in general is being added to the chain at a higher rate. An example, there's more information being stored on it, and the rate is increasing according to the original poster. In my opinion, I feel like that data could be to do with the hardware wallets, being loaded up with tokens, or it could be to do with Richard Hart's wallet that he's about to launch. So we shall see. I'm so excited for the near future, guys. Even more things are aligning. I love how this is also aligning, the marketing with the macroeconomic conditions. Anyways, that's just my theory, but ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of this video. Stay tuned for my part 2 for PDAI Deep Dive, where we're going to talk a lot more into the latest theories and the significance of CDAI. Can it help fix PDAI? We shall see. What will a new MakerDAO alternative look like? And what does the Better Bank, which is the PRV fork, come into PulseChain? What will it do for PDAI in terms of use case and, of course, lending? We're going to end the video there. Thank you very much for tuning in. You're absolutely amazing. And remember, big shout out to the man above, trusting the process, trusting God. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.